Toyota Tacoma Interior Improvements. Sometimes it's the little things. Well, good evening everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. And today I am going to be improving the interior of my new Toyota Tacoma. Now, what I'm talking about, I've got some more stuff from tufskinz. Got all kinds of stuff from those guys. They are fantastic. By the way, if you like this, once I'm all done and you're interested in checking it out, you can go over to tufskinz.com, and there is a discount code. It's Robmotive10 for 10% off your order. So what I'm going to do today, I've got these little door inserts. They're really inserts for underneath the controls on all of the doors. They go in these little slots here, and I gotta say, I had them installed in a different color, of course, on my 2020 Tacoma, and I gotta say, they really do add a little bit of pop to the interior of the truck. They make it look more upscale, I think. Now what they do, again, they go right inside these little slots here. I'll show you. I've got orange, of course, and there's two parts to it. There's a black piece that you can see right here. That goes in first, and then the actual color, the accent, goes in over the top of it. Just fits in this slot right here. Again, not overdone in my opinion, just a little bit of extra accent color in the truck. So first thing you need to do, and I just use a Q-tip, is go ahead and clean off the back side of this in this groove with some rubbing alcohol, because this is held on by double-sided tape. So you want to make sure you get good adhesion. So just clean that off with a Q-tip, use the dry side to wipe it out, and that's it. And then just push these in. You might use a little trim tool or something while you're pushing these in, just to make sure that you contact the other side. If you're real industrious, you can just pull up and pop this piece off, put the parts on, and then put it back in. I think I'm going to do it without doing that. So I'm going to go ahead, put them on here in the front. We'll do the back, and then I'll finish the whole thing and show you what it looks like once I'm all done. Here we go. And I do have some for the back. Make sure you use the right ones for the right section. I do have the right ones. So you want to go ahead, obviously, and do this carefully. You want to make sure you don't bend the parts because they will crease. They're very obviously delicate because they're thin. Once you get them in, they're perfectly fine, but until you have something to support them, you just want to make sure you don't bend them while you're pulling off the cover, which is easy to do, and ask me how I know. I've actually done it before. So just kind of gingerly, carefully pulling off the cover. There we go. That's really not too complicated. Now, as I said, there's two pieces to each one. The black strip here is going to go in first. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that one off. You don't have to be as ginger with that one because it's going to be underneath the main part. Do a little test fit. Make sure you get it where you want it. Make sure it fits properly. And they always fit so darn well with tufskinz. So well, I've got it in there now and I can't get it out. No, I'm kidding. There. And they are held on by double-sided tape. So you want to go ahead and remove the backing. And I'm going to see if I can do this with my thumb. I may have to grab an X-Acto knife to get under the lip. Nope, I got that one off. All right, kudos to me. So, take the tape off and then position it in the groove. Again, this isn't really very complicated. Not sure where I want to start. I think I'll start down at the bottom, kind of fitting around the contour of the door itself. And you do have a little bit of leeway. You can kind of set it in before you push it in to adhere it, just like so. And then I'm going to use my trim tool to kind of push it in. Again, you don't want to use anything too abrasive. My first thought was to grab, and I almost did, a screwdriver. And not so much for this black part, but more for the other part that you're going to put in, because you don't want to dent this or crease it or anything. So I would go with just a plastic trim tool. Just kind of push it in, make sure you get it up against the back of what you're trying to stick it to, obviously. That's my my advice to you. It reminds me of an old, well, he's probably really old now, but an old physics teacher I had in high school. He always said, "A word to the wise should be sufficient." He was right. So I've got that stuck in there now. I'm going to go ahead and do the other part. You can almost, well, you can kind of pull up on this a little bit. Again, it'd probably be easier if you just pop the whole piece out, but I don't think it's necessary, so that's why I'm not doing it. I'm just going to kind of work it in or push it in with my tool here just to make sure it's right. That's it. So now we have to grab the other piece, and I think I will use an X-Acto knife just to remove the backing. It's easier to kind of grab the edge because this part is so thin. So you just want to make sure, again, you get it off without damaging it. You may think, well, gee, man, it's taken you 3 hours to get this piece off. Well, I'm trying to be careful. Okay, we got that off. Now I'm just going to try to grab the edge, as I mentioned. Peel that off. Now, get the tape off the end of my finger there. Now, I'm gonna just kind of lay it on the lip a little bit to make sure I've got it positioned properly before I go full bore and stick it in there. Doesn't that look awesome? I think these just look fantastic. There. Again, it just adds a little bit of pop. I think it gives it a little bit more of an upscale look to the truck, I think. You know, just adding a little flair to the otherwise pretty pedestrian interior of the Tacoma. Toyota is really not known for its over-the-edge styling, I must say. Although the new Tundra, the Pro version anyway, has a lot of bling to it, I think, as compared to usual. So that's it. That puts it in. That's the way it's supposed to look. I love it. Let's go ahead and do the back one, and then I'll finish it up. Okay, same thing as the front, same idea, and I'm just kind of gonna sit it there, and then push it in. There you go. That's how it looks on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other side, and then I'll show you the whole thing complete. I've got it all done, and I added a couple of extra bonus accent pieces as well. I'll show you those in just a second, but let's take a look in the rear. There's that little pop of color. As soon as you open up the door, check that out. Matches the little emblem that I have on the door sill protectors down there, also from Tufskinz, by the way. Now, inside, in the front, of course, did the same thing over here. Both sides, again, very simple. It's just a little pop of color as you look in the truck over there on the other door. Now, I did a couple others. I added a couple of trim pieces, I guess, right on the shifter area, the center console area there. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then by the controls in the center, above the HVAC controls, I added a little strip of color there as well. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do inside the truck. I don't want to risk being gaudy. I'm not looking to go crazy or anything, but I think just these accents that I have look pretty darn good. Over there on the glove box, it says Tacoma. That comes from Tufskinz too. All of this stuff comes from Tufskinz, except for this. This actually came from a fellow that I don't think is doing it anymore, but it was a custom center console lid with my channel logo on it. So anyway, that's it. Those are all of the interior color or orange additions that I think I'm going to add to my truck. I think it's just enough. I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. And in the end, that's all that really matters. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you've done some of these yourself, if you're planning to do anything. And don't forget, you can use discount code RobMotive10 for 10% off over at Tufskinz for these things and more. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Robmotive FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra. And a Robmotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.